Hello, my name is Chris and today I will be your personal car reviewer for the next few minutes. This is a 2019 Ford EcoSport and every manufacturer seems to be making their brand new subcompact crossover. Ford has actually been making this one overseas for quite some time now and it is at the end of its life cycle. The EcoSport has not gotten rave reviews from car reviewers, however I would argue it has some very relevant qualities for potential buyers. More on that later. There are two engines on offer. We are driving the 2-liter engine, and this is the all-equipped Titanium model, which goes for over $30,000 Canadian. Building an all-equipped model on Ford's website with this color purchased over 60 months, and I get $693 a month with all of Quebec's crazy taxes, plus a $1,000 rebate from the manufacturer. That is very expensive. And I can tell you right now, I would recommend a lesser equipped model with the 1-liter turbo, which is more fuel efficient. Looking at EcoSport from different angles, you get the impression that proportions were of no concern to the Ford stylists. That looks true, though the shape will pay off on the inside. More on that later. The rear trunk opens sideways. I'm not sure why Ford chose this. The depth and width of the trunk are average, but the height is above average. There's obviously a lot of room when the seats are folded down, though there is a significant seat bump. Sitting behind myself revealed tight quarters for my legs. The occupant height limit is 6 feet for his or her legs. The high ceiling gives the impression of spaciousness. In front, it is a highly functional affair, with EcoSport delivering on all key aspects of this type of vehicle. You have height with lots of room and a wonderful visibility, especially the side windows. The seats have a high captain's chair feel. The switchgear feels good enough, and the rest of the materials feel of average quality to the touch. Of note, Ford brags about the reliability and toughness of the materials they use on the inside. They are designed to prevent aging. The seats are stylish with white stitching and are comfortable, and that is important. The top of the line Titanium models also comes with a B&O sound system, probably the best in class, and comes with CarPlay and Auto. Nice. There is ambient lighting, which I did not film, and special blue dials for the dash. On the road, the suspension had a happy bounce, but was not uncomfortable. Driving it, I felt the vehicle was well-rounded, responsive, and felt at ease in this urban environment. The main flaws, according to me, are the questionable styling, the inefficient 2-liter engine, and the price of the upper trim models, which are simply overpriced. I personally would go for the SE model if the dealer would throw in winter tires. I think the styling put off many professional car reviewers, but I think you do get the benefit of this height on the inside in terms of space, captain's chairs, and elevated ride height. The 2-liter engine makes 166 horsepower, and I cannot find a torque figure anywhere, and comes with a 6-speed automatic. It does 10.2 liters in the city and 8 liters on the highway, which is 2329 mpg. Here are my thoughts on the road. Hello, car lovers, driving the 2019 Ford EcoSport. EcoSport, that's not an engine, that's an actual model now. What about this vehicle? Well, I've seen a lot of reviews on it. We're a little bit late reviewing this vehicle, and a few things that I have to say. First of all, reviewers didn't like the styling. Reviewers didn't like the rear seat room. Reviewers thought that the engine perhaps drank a lot of gas. It was a bit expensive. All that is true. However, it's one of those weird situations with automotive math in where if you add everything up, for example, 2 plus 2 plus 2, somehow at the end I find it comes out to 7 or 7.5. This vehicle is well-rounded, and it has a few of the intrinsic qualities of its flaws. And what I mean by that is if we look at the exterior styling, yes, the exterior styling is a bit weird, especially that front end It makes the vehicle really high off the ground and sit up squat. However, inside, in terms of interior room, we're seated very high off the ground, and these are very nice captain chairs, so we have a very natural sitting position. We have a very commanding view of the road, and this is helped by this awesome visibility that we have here. So I think it looks made high off the ground. However, you get all those qualities. In the rear trunk room, well, some could say it's very average. I would say that because, once again, that height makes it above average. So in terms of sitting in back, it is pretty limited. As you saw just before, I was sitting behind myself. I'm 5'9". I think the limit would be 2 people 6 foot tall. I do have long legs. However, in height and width, there's no problem. So average roomy, much more roomy than, for example, the CX-3, which is one of its competitors. What about the rest of this interior? Well, it feels halfway between Fiesta and Focus. Ross argues perhaps a bit more Fiesta. I like this screen here. This Ford Sync, I find, is one of the easiest systems to use. It may not be good looking, but it is very easy to use and very intuitive. Nice tactile feel for the different buttons. Here on the steering wheel, nice tactile feel. When you open the door, it feels relatively solid here. Pretty good Ford on that point. The B&O sound system is above average. On the highway, there is average road noise. It's not better or worse than its competition. It's what you'd expect from this type of subcompact crossover. So what is it like on the road? Well, it has a happy bounce to it. It does crash over the bigger bumps, as do some of its rivals. However, I do find it drives very nicely. Driving here in Lachine on Montreal's shitty roads, Lachine being a borough of Montreal, it's handling it very well. I think it's doing a fine job. I heard a few rattles, but not too many. I don't hear them anymore. What about this steering wheel and this dash? Everything is well laid out. The materials here are average quality. Ford does brag about the reliability of their interior materials. That is to say, after 4, 5, 6 years, they won't look used out. You feel it in the steering wheel. With this leather steering wheel, I'm feeling a toughness that feels of durability. Fuel economy may turn off a few of the buyers. For example, Ross, all other things equal, got 1.5 liters per 100 kilometers better with the HRV he did last week. So it's not insignificant, that. Also, the price for the well-equipped models are kind of high. This is a model that feels at the end of its life cycle. It seems to me I've seen these types of interiors in Ford since I began reviewing cars. As for the price, I think you have to shop the bargains. You have to get this vehicle on sale in order to get, I think, a reasonable value, because at full price, I think it's a little bit overpriced. It's funny, I say this a lot for a lot of the subcompact SUVs. So those are my thoughts. By the way, if you like this video, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. And by the way, if you really like it, you should subscribe, and also leave your comments. If you have this vehicle or perhaps one of its competitors, people read through the comments to know perhaps it will help them with their purchase in the future. So that is the review.